certainly make a wonderful wedding gift. Wish I could find time to drive out there, too.
Look, John. They're back to their first love.
Oh, look, Bob. I can move over without getting all tangled up.
Sure, that's the new gear shift lever. But here's what interests me.
Nice wide seat, clear vision, and...
Now, John, you're not buying a car for yourself, you know.
Pardon my enthusiasm, Mother, but do you remember our bridal coach? Just 2 horsepower, wasn't it?
And that nosy old coachman.
Yes. Well, I guess that settles it. Can you deliver this car in time for the wedding Saturday noon?
It will be there, Mr. Allen.
Oh, Dad, you're precious. A wonderful wedding gift and a grand trip to the San Diego Fair. I'm the happiest person in the world.
A pretty good test for a car. Massachusetts to Southern California.
Not a test. An opportunity to prove everything I've told you.
Yeah, I'm crazy about it.
Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who may want to target you. In our home, we have personally had this happen to us.
Your full name, email, home address, health records, your relatives, it's all out there.
That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video.
Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me.
Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam that I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use this very information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, and other sensitive information.
I don't know if you saw this, but AT&T revealed that over 73 million customer records, both existing and former customers, were released on the dark web. AT&T recommended those affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus.
Well, Aura does all of this for me.
And best of all, I don't have to download several different apps just because a company couldn't keep my data secure.
If my info was compromised in the AT&T data breach, I won't worry because Aura is always on, always doing the hard work of keeping me safe. I value my privacy and I value yours. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information.
Go to my sponsor, https://aura.com/Ken Smith Gallery to get a 14-day absolutely free trial and see how much of your information is being sold.
Now let's get back to today's video.
Whoopee! What a lucky break for me. Coast to coast, a trip to the San Diego Fair, and a couple of honeymooners.
Where do you think you're going?
To the San Diego Fair.
Never mind that, sister. Let's see your license. Honeymooners, eh? Well, I guess you two are up in the clouds. Why don't you go up there and take a look? At least you'll be able to see where you're going.
That was a demonstration of good brakes. The new positive action brakes on all Ford V8s give you just what you need when you need it most. The next stop, folks, Pikes Peak, more than 14,000 feet above sea level. And watch me climb it. Here's a steep one, and I'll take it in high. They all look alike to me. See that nasty turn? Easy for me. With a short turning radius and transverse springs, I can turn on a dime and have a nickel left over. And here we are at the top. Some climb, and I'm not even breathing hard.
Yes, they've seen Pikes Peak. And by now they should be right in the middle of Zion National Park.
It's called one of the wonders of America.
And can't you just see them? Simply drinking in the beauties of nature.
Well, folks, again, those two seem to be missing all this marvelous scenery. But there's one big pleasure they can't miss. That's the Centipoise ride of these new Ford V8s, combining comfort with stability and safety.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
seen a thing. Now, what would you do about that? I've got it. I'll visit the San Diego Fair alone. Then I'll come back later to pick up those two lovebirds. They'll still be sitting there. So watch my speed. Watch the Fords go by. Whee!
Señoras y caballeros, we give you the fiesta at San Diego. California's traditional hospitality, handed down for generations from the gracious days of the Spanish Dons, is beckoning millions of guests to San Diego's California Pacific International Exposition. From every part of the Americas, north, south, and central, they come. And like the hostess of old, San Diego has outdone herself to provide gaiety, cultural adventures, fine music, beautiful architecture, modern industrial displays, and plenty of joyous, carefree fun. The lovely architecture of 16th century Spain rears its slender white spires and delicate traceries in sharp relief against summer skies. The dark-eyed flower girl who bewitches us into buying an exotic tropical bloom for our buttonhole says, "Muchas gracias, señor." And her merry smile costs us nothing. Balboa Park, scene of the exposition, boasts 1,000 graceful trees, and set like a white gem in a deep green mounting, is one of the largest of the fair exhibits. In this building, a brief cross-section of the Ford plant at Dearborn tells the story of raw materials and their progress from earth to automobile. Trained lecturers explain each exhibit, telling, for instance, how soybeans are processed to make parts for Ford cars. Henry Ford, you know, believes that a great deal of the automobile of the future will be grown on the farms of America. Industry has its fireworks too, and brilliant displays mark the path of the electric arc welding machine, a device that contributes strength and safety to modern automobiles. The heart of any car is its engine, so one exhibit shows this miracle of engineering. Two mechanics prove that it takes only a few minutes to assemble and take down the famous V8 engine. Boys representing the Henry Ford Trade School have an interesting exhibit at San Diego. Remember the stories about medieval torture chambers that made your blood run cold? On the rack, many parts are subjected in a few hours to the same punishing wear and strain they undergo in months of hard driving. Yes, sir. Parts for a modern automobile have to be able to take it and come up with a bounce, like these valve seat inserts. Oh, there's one that didn't quite make it. Even Ford's safety glass must prove its worth when a falling steel ball strikes it with a crushing blow that would demolish ordinary plate glass. At Ford plants, there's many a penny saved in a big byproducts department utilizing everything. They're even trying to use the whoosh you hear as the Fords go by. A marvelous working model at the fair shows how this byproducts department functions. Strolling around this fair certainly takes it out of you, doesn't it? Let's see, can't we find some place to rest? Ah, yes, here's one. And we're on the beautiful Ford verandas overlooking San Diego and the blue waters of the bay. Isn't this perfect? Hello, here's a young Balboa. He got his fare ticket on condition that he'd keep an eye on his young brother Tommy. Hello, will you look at that? Now, who would ever have thought of using this beautiful V8 fountain in the Ford building patio for a rendezvous with an ice cream cone? Well, a lot of folks agree with this youngster, and the Ford patio is one of the most popular places for relaxation on the fairgrounds. There is music, grateful shade, and inviting benches. Outside, in the great Ford Bowl, symphony orchestras, choirs, and choruses give series of concerts, and artists present recitals daily on the new electronic organ. Let's take a ride around the Ford roads of the Pacific just outside the building. Hop into a 1935 car, and we're off. Here's the old plank road from California across the desert to Yuma, Arizona. Then Japan's Tokaido, which figures in that country's fable and song almost as importantly as Fujiyama, the sacred mountain. Panama's Gold Road comes next, literally paved with the bones of men and beasts who broke its weary miles through steaming jungles. The old Spanish Trail is so old that history fails to record its actual beginning. We haven't time to see all the roads, but they're not the half of it. What's that hubbub? My gracious, it's the Midway, and what a Midway! What a riot of color and noise. There's everything here that you've ever seen, and some more that you haven't. Come on along to the Midway. Never mind how old you are. You'll be 10 years younger by the time we get through. Well, 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 here's our old friend Tommy with the ice cream cone, and he still has to put in a few more licks. No wonder these youngsters try to make everything at the fair last as long as possible. There's never been anything just like it before, and may never be again, for it combines a nostalgic old world charm and color with the newest in this hustling modern world of ours. Here is a vacation opportunity such as you may never find again. Drive through the national parks and scenic wonders of the far west to this sparkling, colorful fiesta at San Diego, an exposition that is a dedication to California's yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and a toast to the continuation of an American epic on the Pacific coast that will be written large in the history of the nation as the years march on.